day again, friends, and welcome to Cooking with Mrs. G. Today, we are making puffed wheat squares. As you know, Mrs. G has kitchen rules. What are our kitchen rules, friends? First, always wash your hands before prepping or touching any food. Then, always cook with an adult, because things can get very hot in the kitchen and you always want to have someone safe to help you with that stuff. And last, Mrs. G sometimes makes items that might have peanut butter, Nutella, or nuts of some kind. So if you ever see that at me making something here, some of our friends at school have allergies to nuts, and that's why we can't have nuts at school. But because we're doing a virtual thing and everything is in Mrs. G's kitchen, nobody has allergies at my house, so I can cook with all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you never ever take anything with nuts to school. Let's get started. First, let's wash our hands. Nice warm water. Kill off any germs we might have. And soak. Squish it around. And remember, sing the happy birthday song. Ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. And give them a good rinse off. And then dry your hands. All right, so to make puffed wheat squares, what do you think we need? Of course, we need puffed wheat, and that's a cereal. So we have puffed wheat. You can buy it at any grocery store. Next, we need to have cocoa powder. It's very strong, unlike chocolate chips, and it's great for cooking with. Next, you need to have margarine or butter. Here's a good tip. You can use either corn syrup or you can use maple syrup. So a lot of times people don't have this in their home. They have syrup, so you can use syrup. And last, you need to have brown sugar. All right? My container's too big to go over here, so we'll leave it here. As you can see, it's been a busy day of Mrs. G making videos of cooking for all of our friends. That's why you see so many goodies here. All right, let's get started. What do we need to do first? First, we need to melt some margarine. So what we're going to do is turn our stove on to medium-high heat and have a nice nonstick pan if you have it. If you don't, then you just got to be a little bit more careful. We need half a cup of margarine. So let's do that. We'll put our pot on the stove and we will measure out half a cup of margarine. All right, and then put it in the pot so that it can melt. Next, we need to have our corn syrup. We need to have a half a cup of corn syrup. So let's undo it. And pour it in. Okay, sorry friends. That was not supposed to happen. I'll clean that later off of that and disinfect that corn syrup. This is why you always need to cook with an adult, because you never know what's going to happen in the kitchen. Just to be safe. All right? And we need to have 1 cup of brown sugar. As you can see, Mrs. G likes to bake, and you all know that. So I always have lots of items in my kitchen. Okay, and we're gonna melt this in with this. Okay, now we're gonna let that melt down. And while that's melting down, we are going to give it a good stir. So friends, see what's happening here now? Everything, the margarine melted and become a liquid. The corn syrup is already a sticky liquid. And the brown sugar is starting to melt and dissolve in with the syrup and the margarine. Now what we need to do is bring it to a boil and let it boil for 2 minutes. So we're going to turn the stove up just a little bit to get it to go there. While that is doing that, we are going to grab our cocoa powder and we're going to put in 6 teaspoons. Or if you have a tablespoon, which I forgot to bring over, you would put in 2 of those. So let's count. So that's 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons, 3 teaspoons, 4, 5, 6. Now, as you've seen, I didn't make them leveled off, and that's because I like it to be with lots of chocolatey taste to it. So I'm even gonna add 2 more, which is okay. All right, and we'll go give that a nice stir. As you see, Mrs. G has a whisk, which is really good for whipping everything together. Now, you know that cocoa powder was a solid, and if you look in here, it's starting to melt and dissolve inside of our warm mixture. And everything is becoming a liquid, a nice gooey, ooey, sticky, sweet, chocolatey mixture. And it's important to stir it quite often so that it doesn't stick to the pan and burn. Okay. While that is doing that, we're gonna let it go so I can watch to see when it starts to bubble, okay? While we do that, I'm gonna get our measuring cup again, our 1 cupper, and our puff wheat cereal, because we want to have it handy to put it over in the pot and stir it up. All right, friends, take a look. Our mixture is starting to bubble. So we are going to stir it while it's doing this and do it for 2 minutes, okay? I'm gonna set my timer. So once my timer goes off, we will remove it from the heat and add our puffed wheat into it. I miss you guys, and I wish you guys were here, or I was with you to help you, let you stir and smell how wonderful this smells, and taste the cookies and the Rice Krispie squares we've made together. But I'm very thankful that we have this kind of technology where we can still view and talk to each other and see each other at all times. It's pretty cool. That way we can all be nice and safe at home. All right, friends, we have another 45 seconds of stirring. A friend of mine at school, Miss Anhorn, made these one day, and she gave me one, and she put peanuts in it, and I thought it tasted pretty darn good. But because I'm gonna give these to a special friend, I can't put peanuts in them in case of allergies. However, you could add that in there. You could put anything you want in these. You could even put in little other marshmallows in after you go and stir in the puff wheats and stuff, or chocolate chips, or M&Ms, or Smarties, anything like that. All right, friends, let's turn that off. Let's turn off the stove. Now, first, let's get our measuring cup, and we'll start counting again. All right, friends, get ready. So, 1 cup, 2 cups, 3 cups, 4 cups, 5 cups, 6 cups, 7 cups. All right, and let's give it a good stir. Mrs.G needs to use this one instead. Yeah, there might be some cereal flying all over the place. And see what's happening is that our chocolatey, syrupy mixture is forming around our cereal. And that's what's going to help make it so it all sticks together when we put it in the pan. Okay, we're going to remove that from the heat for a minute and we're going to get another pan to put it in. And because this is a little bit sticky, just like the marshmallow squares, we're going to take some cooking spray and just lightly coat it. All right. Then I'm going to move this over for right now so you guys can see me pour our ooey gooey mixture into the pan. Remember, this is very hot and you want an adult to help you with this. Okay? Then you're going to take your spatula and push it all down and try to get it as even as possible in the pan so that your squares will bind together and get, as it cools, they'll get stickier and harden. And that's how you get squares. All right, friends. Now we need to let them cool and form. And ta-da! That's how you make Rice Krispie squares. All right. Thank you for coming and cooking with Mrs.G again today. Next time, we will be making oatmeal chocolate chip cookies. See you then, friends.